What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Married to Medicine Season 8, Episode 12. Let me just tell y'all this. It is an award show on that I did not even know was coming on. Don't even expect the review because I'm not even finna watch it until probably later on when I get all my other stuff done. Girl, I'll talk about it and what it is, if y'all even care. But moving on from that, this episode is called Holy Mess. So we get into it. First of all, I just want to point out when they was going over what everybody was doing at the beginning of the episode, and Dr. Jackie was sitting there with her patient who I guess was trying to get pregnant or is pregnant. And I'm sorry about my finger being in a camera. She was like, you're 40 years old, and so at this point they call this an elderly pregnancy. I said, elderly? Since the fuck when? They be disrespecting the hell out of women, okay? Just making us feel old as shit, feel decrepit. If you're 35 or 34 and up, okay, you turn 34, 35, you're a geriatric pregnancy. Now 40 is elderly pregnancy. God damn, bitch, okay? Like, just shit on our whole life. But anyway, we bringing life in and you shitting on us, calling us old as shit, okay? But moving on from that, what we see is that Contessa and Toya and Simone are hooking up. They're having lunch or whatever with each other at a restaurant. And we see Anila and Quad. They're also having lunch at this restaurant or whatever. And I was a little confused because I said, since when did Quad and Anila become good homegirls or whatever? And I really hope it's not one of those situations where I don't fuck with Toya, so therefore my enemy of my enemy is my friend type of shit. I really hope it's not that, because that's what they were sitting there commiserating about, the whole what's going on with Quad. And first of all, that whole conversation about trying to hook Quad up with an Indian dude and Karen, Anila had to make it known that, he's 6'4" and he got a big slung, okay? He got it going on down below as he do up top. I said, all right, I ain't need to know that. Quad probably did, but we didn't. But okay, Anila had to put it out there, but they get into the conversation about Quad and Toya, and Anila is basically saying Toya is a different person than who she thought she was when she first met her and everything, and she's just not understanding what's going on. And Quad is saying, do you think she's a little bit jealous because you are making strides and friendships within the group without her or outside of her, whatever? And she was like, I don't know if she said she don't know or it could be it or whatever, and of course Quiet had to put in there about her issues, because I believe that Anila had brought up, didn't you have some issue at one point in time with her? And she was like, multiple times. So now Anila is looking like maybe it just ain't me. Maybe she was putting on a front or something like that. Of course, Quad was just like, if she was a real friend don't come up in there talking about your place, okay? They don't, and that is true. I ain't gonna say she ain't no real friend, but at this point in time, you don't talk about somebody. That's disrespectful as hell to talk about somebody's place where they stay at, and you actually in their place. And I don't care. Like, I'm the type of person, if you can afford a big ass house and build your own stuff or whatever, that's fine and great. If you can afford to upkeep it or whatever, if all you can afford to do is lease a house or rent an apartment or whatever, as long as you got a place over your head and you are good, that's fine. What do we need to be judging folks over? We don't know people's situation. We don't have to false flag. And that's what some of these girls, especially on these reality shows and on, these social media influencers, that's what they do. So therefore, that's what they living by. Appearances and images, and who got the bigger this, and it's making it such a big deal when it shouldn't be. Okay, especially if we're friends, that should not be a fucking issue. We should be holding each other up. Then we get the whole conversation with Contessa, Toya, and Simone, and I'm sitting here like, Contessa and Toya, like I said last week, when the fuck did they get close again? Because before last week, we seen them going at each other's throat at the last goddamn get together that they had at Anila's little thing or whatever. So now they cool, and Contessa and her, they on the same page a little bit, even though Contessa, like, you know Toya whole thing is she tired of bringing people around the group and they stabbing her in the back according to her. People not loyal. Anila's fake. You got Quiet and them calling Toya fake. I mean, we can call everybody fake, but the thing is, Toya don't like to be called out on her shit, and Toya don't like to take accountability for the stuff that she's done. And like, contestant was saying, everybody's not innocent, okay? You are not innocent either. You done something, okay? People don't just come at you when you don't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? And Toy, you have played into this shit, all right? You took the stuff public when you got on that public live and you started talking about Quad and her apartment or, lack thereof a house or whatever. I'm sorry, if my tongue looked yellow, I was sucking on a lollipop. Sorry. But just in case it was a distraction because it distracted me. I'm sorry. But yeah, and then, the whole situation with Anila, you trying to call her out about finances and stuff like that, and your finances ain't in order, ain't never been in order, and then you're going around the neighborhood and telling other people. How else would she have found out that you was talking if she didn't hear from other people? So take responsibility for the stuff that you've done and the reason why people treat you the way that you be treated. So Simone want to have this get together with some of the couples, not all of them, but of course Scott and Contessa gonna be there. She want Toya and Eugene to be there just to have a good conversation. I said, I'm still baffled on the fact that Contessa and Toya are cool. I mean, I hope it lasts longer than it did the last time, but we'll see where it goes. So then we get Anila, she's at her home and they are getting ready for Holi, the Indian holiday Holi. And see, I will say, it's a shame that they took Mariah off and we didn't get to get into deep into her and her husband's cultures and whatever, because I know she's African American and I believe he was Indian as well, and we didn't get deep into that. I don't know what was the backstory why they didn't allow that, if they didn't allow it at Bravo, but I am glad that Anila is kind of on here and we're getting different type of, some people are getting introduced to different cultures. I've heard of Holi before, and I've seen some things about it and it's amazing to me, like the beautiful colors when they throw the colored powder and everything. It's beautiful. And Anila's parents come over and they was talking about it and what it means about, getting rid of negativity. Somebody that you had an issue or something that you had an issue with, you become cool with them in this holiday. It's like a starting over type of situation. Rid of negativity, bringing in positivity, and just all coming together as one. So, it was cool. And so at this point, Anila go ahead and she calls the rest of the ladies and invites them, to the celebration, which she is also combining the Holy celebration with her daughter's birthday. She said, bitch, I am trying to build a house, so therefore we tight on cash and we trying to save money. So that's what we going to do. Okay, we going to be a little frugal up in this bitch. We going to throw two parties in one. All right. I said, I don't blame you on that one. Truth be told, I feel like my attitude towards Anila has changed a little bit since the beginning, because y'all know, if you go back to the first episode, maybe the first couple of episodes that she was on, I was like, girl, you're doing a little bit too much. You interjecting into things that you absolutely know nothing about. Just stop doing that. But as time has went on, I'm okay with her. Like I said, she's introducing new things to the public or whatever that don't know about the Indian culture, so that's cool. She gets on the phone with Quad. Quad was like, are you going to invite Toya? She was like, I haven't spoken to Toya in a while. So, and I'm like, Quad, why do you care? At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck who you invite. I don't have to be cool with them. You don't like, girl, I can go do my thing and let them do their thing. If I see them at the place, it's not gonna stop me from enjoying it. Okay, so like, girl, get that girl off your mind too, quiet. Okay, moving on from that, we get Dr. Jackie and her company manager. Ebony comes into her office and then they have a little conference call because she is working on a beauty skin line for people of, darker skin, melanated skin, African Americans and other people who have melanated skin, and talking about the SPF, Ashley, get your words together, bitch. Sunscreen. Let me tell you something. I had some sugar and I haven't had this much sugar in a long time. So that's what got me stumbling, bumbling all over the place, okay? That freaking lollipop was just a little bit too much. And all I did was ate a little half of it. Not even a whole half, but just a little half. That was a little bit too much sugar for me. Okay. And I haven't had it in a long time. So forgive me. But yeah, that's what they was going over, because she was like, in this day and age, we still go to like beauty supply stores or, the cosmetic stores, and the products for African Americans or whatever and the natural girls is literally just this much, okay? And I see that when I go to the store, like even if I go to Walgreens and they got like the hair products, okay? It'll be two rows back to back full of hair products for white people hair mostly, and then like let's say natural hair, like it's a section that says natural and it's literally from here to here. That's it. From here to here, okay? A little block, a little section, not even a full shelf, okay? And it's disheartening. So, she's trying to put her thing out there. Dr. Jackie trying to be on her candy, okay? She's trying to make a business here, make a business there, and everywhere. I said, girl, I don't blame you. Do what you got to do. Get that income coming in, baby. Multiple streams, do it. So, it's time for Simone's little party or whatever, couples party, and of course, it's only Contessa and Scott. They come later. They were the last couple to get there, but before it was Toya and Eugene. So, we got Chef Angel, I believe that's her name, and she's throwing down or whatever. Toya and Eugene comes in there. They talking to Simone and Cecil. They talking about who, always frustrated with who, and this and that, and you doctors think y'all know it all, and sometimes the men can't take it. They can't admit this and can't admit that. Okay, we see where the night going, and then Contessa and Scott shows up. So they having a good time. They're eating and all this stuff or whatever, and then they get into why is it that what is the theme or the purpose for this dinner? And I just want to put this out there to y'all. Do y'all have dinners or get-togethers with your friends where you just talk about certain things like this, or do y'all just get together and just kick it? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I don't know, maybe because they're on a reality show, it don't feel like they will get together and just start talking about couples issue or whatever. It just feels like they're doing this because they need something to film and drama, whatever, for the show, because I just don't feel like they literally get together on their time off and just sit here and talk about their relationships or hypotheticals and stuff like that. But given that they're doctors and they're busy and everybody's doing something, I don't know, maybe I'm out the loop or whatever, but they doing all of that, and they get into talking about Toya and Eugene's relationship, about how they're trying to get back on a better track or whatever, because even before COVID, they were going through little issues or whatever, arguing amongst each other in front of the kids, and she don't want to argue in front of the kids, and Simone saying, you don't have to argue in front of the kids, and arguing in front of the kids is a choice. In a sense, yes, but sometimes the shit just happen, you know what I'm saying? But you can stop that and then, take it somewhere else, and, stuff like that. And then not Simone, but Contessa get up involved in it. Because earlier they was talking about, let me pause that. They was like, Contessa and Scott thought it was a swinger party. Scott said, what if this a swingers party or whatever? So they told Simone and Cecil and them that. And they was like, girl, that ain't that type of party. But then they asked Simone and Cecil in the confessional, if it was a swinger, which couple would you swing with? And Simone didn't even think about it. She said Scott and Contessa, because bitch, Contessa looked like she got the highest freak number out of all of us. Okay, and take it from the person that went to a swinger place before by accident. You know what I'm saying? So that happened, but they start getting into their relationships, and I said this is not going to end well, because we already know that it's issues going on between Scott and Contessa that have not been addressed. And she's talking about when she's trying to bring up something, he does things like trying to walk away and not facing the truth, and getting on the phone, and then there's times when you tell me that I don't matter or I don't do anything and things like that. And so as they're getting into the whole situation and it's becoming a little bit deeper than they thought it would be, more feelings start coming out. Contessa starts crying. Scott said, come on, don't start all that crying. And then Toy was like, why she can't cry? I mean, for real. it just got real, the air just got real tense. And, she was like, I just can't do it no more. Some shit like that. I said, oh, Lord. Now, y'all already putting it out there that y'all got issues and making it seem like it's something more than what it is. But y'all need to fix this shit. Now y'all bringing it to other people. Girl, Scott, just take the therapy, okay? Stop being a big head, bullheaded, and just take the therapy, all right? So that y'all can get through these issues. And if you can't get through them, divorce, okay? Or do a trial separation and see if that's what you need, because this cannot keep going on. So, Contessa is just saying this is not healthy, which is not. And they eventually come to the conclusion. Like, it kind of irked me because when they moved from the table, and Simone was talking about how it's clear that they're in a marital rut at this point. And it feels like Contessa is willing to take the steps to get out. But at this point in time, Scott is not. And we can clearly see that. And it's not necessarily that he's not. It's just that it feels like he doesn't want to do the steps that she wants to do. He wants to go about it his way, and she's trying to go about it another way. And I feel like her way, like going to a marriage counselor, like, hell, I'm agreeing with Toya. Toya said it is clear that they need marriage counseling, that they are basically just putting band-aids on the issues and hoping that it'll heal up, but it's not healing up, okay? They're not actually fixing it. They're not putting no treatment on it. You just slapping a band-aid on it and thinking it's going to be all good, and that is not what it is. Bitch, when Toya said that shit, I was like, girl, I agree. The fuck? But anyway, so they sitting down there. Simone is talking to him, and we have to do things a little bit different. We have to get back to a normalcy that we have. You can't go to your house and do this, and she can't go to her place and do this, and all this stuff or whatever. And while they are talking, Scott is doing the exact same thing that Contessa said. Like, either he walks away or he's in his phone. And he was literally in his phone. Regardless of what he was doing, he was in his phone, and he really wasn't paying attention, if you ask me. Okay. He said, when it comes to things like that, when the argument starts or whatever, so that it won't escalate or whatever, his instinct is to just walk away to cool it down. But even walking away does not mean that the issue is over, that the issue is fixed. It's still there. You're just putting it on hold temporarily. That's what it is. But, they came to the conclusion that they do want their marriage. They do love each other. Contessa talking about I'm not going to browbeat you no more about this therapy stuff. We'll figure it out. I said, bitch, because obviously you need to figure something out, because what y'all been doing ain't working. Girl, it's hot up in this motherfucker. Hold on. Anyway, that's probably why I'm acting the way that I'm acting too, because I feel like I'm melting. Like I'm the Wicked Witch of the goddamn West, bitch. I'm melting. That's how I feel like I'm in this bitch. Okay? But anyway, girl, I'm sitting to take a shower. It's like 80-something degrees outside. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with the summer this time. Bitch, this whole week, Ashley was out there with them legs out, bitch. Them legs was out, girl. I felt cute. Anyway, moving on from that. It's time for Holi, and it's time for Ariana's birthday. Come to find out, Karen is like, he got to pay for all this shit, because of course Anila, she ain't gonna say how much it is. Oh, that's a little bit too much, no, I can't get that. He like, they gonna ask her, do you want this, do you want that, and she gonna say yes, fine, put it on there, tag it up or whatever. So you got Contessa and Toya in the car coming together. And I was like, wait a minute, Toya gonna be there? And Contessa and Toya, it's like blowing my mind, the fact that they're cool again to this point, bitch. Okay? And I know it's editing, and I know time has been passed since the last time we seen their little arguments or whatever. So, of course, it probably has some time passed or whatever, and they made up or whatever, but they have always, just about every season that they've been on together, they have always been at each other's throat, and they always somewhat make up. But I've never seen them this close. At least I can't recall. Like, they got the kids in the car with each other. They're talking about whether or not Quad gonna be there. Toya was like, I don't give a fuck about Quad. Like, the bitch show up if she ain't got kids. She can't even keep a husband. She ain't even got no husband. She ain't got that. Girl, she cussing and all that stuff up in the car. Contessa trying to say, don't do that. We got the kids. We don't need the kids to hear that, okay? But also, The reason why Toya is there is because Anila actually went there to her place, and they had Lisa Nicole there, and Anila apologized to Toya. I said, bitch, what are you apologizing for? Toya is the one that needed to apologize to you. But here go Toya. Now see, a petty bitch like me wouldn't accept that apology. She gonna say, I apologize for the third time. No, bitch, we don't need all of that extra on there. Just say I apologize, okay? And she said, I'm gonna keep a watchful eye on her. I said, what? What? Toy, you do this with just about everybody that comes in, okay? But hey, as long as everybody's cool right now, it's okay. But it ain't gonna be cool for long because y'all know they get together and it's gonna be some mess that pop off all the time. So everybody keeps coming on in. We got Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie. She shows up. They show up together. Um, and then, of course, Dr. Heavenly had to just talk about the party. Like, this is a whole lot, saying Anila, she really does fit in with the group, going all out for the kid's birthday party because that's what most of the women in the group are known for. And she was like, at this point, it's like, is the party really for the kids or is it for the adults to show out? And I said, that's a good question because they 5 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old. Girl, they ain't gonna remember that shit. So, hey, it is what it is. It's for them to show out. But it's looking beautiful. And plus, it's in celebration of the birthday and the Holi holiday. So, there you go. That's why they're doing a whole lot. Lisa Nicole shows up with her daughter, okay? And Carrie shows up. And I forget that, Anila had asked everybody to wear all white, you know. And so that's where everybody showed up in all white and everybody was looking nice and everything. And of course, Dr. Heavenly like, I'm going to be somebody ass if they get this stuff up in my hair or whatever. Moving on from that, we got Dr. Heavenly and Jackie over there talking to Anila and her mother. And her mother, was talking about how, she brags on Anila friends and stuff like that, and Anila wound up saying shit, and Dr. Jackie was like, so you gonna just let her say the S word in front of you like that? She was like, I'm gonna take care of her when I get home or whatever. And then, like mothers do, in front of the people company, I don't know what it is, but they want to embarrass their kids. Parents do this all the time, and that's exactly what Anila mama did. Kind of embarrassed her. She was like, I got 2 daughters, no sons or whatever, and they started going into how she got her period. And she was like, first of all, when she first got her period, talking about Anila, she didn't tell the dad, okay? And it was like something dealing with the temple. If a woman is on their periods, their cycle or whatever, they can't go into the temple. I said that's a little bit archaic or whatever, but I'm not going to down anybody's, religion or whatever, because I guess when you're on your period, you seemed a little bit unclean or whatever. But anyway, I don't know. And there's many cultures or whatever that believe that back, especially it goes years back, decades, centuries back or whatever. You can't get married on your cycle or whatever. Now, see, I can understand that. Because once we get married or whatever, I want to do it that night. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't the type of bitch that fuck through blood, okay? I don't do that, And let me tell you something. It's some lesbians that do that shit. And I'm like, y'all nasty, okay? Y'all are nasty, especially if y'all going down with the mouth, all right? No, okay. I found that shit out and I said, what the fuck? I ain't one of them. I ain't one of them, girl. I don't even want to touch myself when I'm on my period. I don't want nobody else touching me. Girl, stop it. But anyway, that happened. So, Anila was like, we finna go over there and touch the animals and talk to the animals, whatever. Dr. Jackie don't want to go over there, but she wound up going over there, whatever. And at this point, Heavenly, she gets on top of it looked like a little pony horse or whatever. And here comes Carrie and Lisa Nicole. They're literally over there starting stuff with Heavenly. Heavenly has not said anything to neither one of them. And Carrie was the one that popped it off by saying, oh, look at how that horse is, or something like that. Is the horse okay? And then here go Lisa Nicole talking about look at the thing leg. Look at it, it's bending in the middle or whatever. It's heavy or whatever. Is the horse okay? Is it okay? And I'm like, so basically, bitch, you're fat shaming and you're making it known that you're fat shaming, and you and Heavenly probably 5 and 10 pounds heavier than you, okay? and y'all damn in the same fucking size, okay? So why you acting like this? And then want to get upset and get in your feelings when she come back for your ass when you get up on the horse and she said, look at your stomach. And she gonna go at heavily talking about some, at least I don't need gastric bypass or whatever and lap band and all this shit. I said, Nicole, bitch, this is why people don't like you. You go too low, and yeah, some people might say, Heavenly getting what she needs or whatever, but at this point, you're fat shaming and you're targeting a group of people. Even if you're just coming after one, that bullet can hit a group of people that went through gastro bypass, okay, who had to actually get that, and who had to get a lap band, or who's going through health or weight problems or whatever, and they're not confident in themselves, and they're getting triggered because you sitting up here talking about this lady and her weight and all that stuff. I'm not one of those bitches, okay? So don't put me in a category, but it's some people that's probably triggered by that, okay? But you don't do that. And I can see if she said something to her first, but from what I recall, she didn't say nothing to her first. It came out the blue. And then you talk about she jealous, she want to be you and all this stuff. She like, bitch, why would I want to be you? You can't even keep a fucking man. And you want to talk about Heavenly's marriage and all this shit. She been with her man for 23 years, and as far as we know, let Heavenly tell it, they both been faithful to each other. Bitch, when Heavenly asked Anila's mama, was Anila a virgin? Bitch, see, that's why your ass got come for it. But no, let me stop. That wasn't right. Okay, Nicole, y'all already had history in the past, okay, and you doing all this shit and you coming out your mouth, and that is the most laziest read or laziest come back at somebody if you gotta attack them about their weight. That's so lazy and so lame at this point. That's all you got. Like, you should have just sat there, stood there, waited your turn, and shut the fuck up. That's all that you had to do. That lady didn't say nothing to you, but let's go at her way. Oh, she had gastro bypass. She needs to get it again. Oh, her marriage is this. And when you got on this goddamn TV and your husband was cheating on your ass left the fucking right, and we still don't know whether or not he's still cheating and been faithful or not to your ass, because he ain't on the show. So therefore, we ain't dug into it, all right? Because at this point, we really don't give a fuck, and we don't understand why your ass is not here, okay? So I don't get it. Listen, Nicole, chill the fuck out. Go somewhere. So, Anila had to come over there and break that shit up. And she said, not at my kid birthday party, we not about to do this, okay? And so, Heavenly apologized to her, whatever. Lisa Nicole and Carrie, both of y'all need y'all asses beat. Carrie, go, I don't even want to shame you, okay? Because then, that could be skinny shaming or whatever. Because I was about to say something, and I'm talking about fat shaming and shit like that. That ain't right. So you don't, see, two wrongs don't make a right, bitch, okay? And like Jackie said to Heavenly, you ain't had to engage in the shit, all right? And that is 100% correct. So, contestant and Toya finally showed up. Quad showed up in the midst of tail end of the argument that was going on. I said, did you not get the memo that they gonna be throwing paint and stuff around? Cause they came did up, bitch, okay? But they had this little cloth or whatever they put on their head, little bonnets and stuff. I want one of them because I need a longer bonnet for my head, for my hair. But anyway, and they was getting up there talking about, going through the little girl birthday party, talking about what Holi means and the different colors and stuff like that is really nice. And, they started doing the powder wars and stuff like that. And they was trying to get Quad ass. Quad was running. Like, that bitch, she's a runner. She's a track star. She gonna run away when it gets hard. That was Quad, bitch, okay? Until she just said, fuck it, go ahead and douse me, bitch, okay? Then after that, Anila wanted them to come together and say what they gonna let go. She up here once again. And see, Anila, I just said I'm coming around to you, whatever. I gave the reason why I couldn't stand you in the beginning because you was interjecting, and here you go trying to fix the shit between Toya and Quad. It's just not gonna happen right about now. And like Quad said, bitch, you need to fix the shit between you and Toya before you can fix the shit between you and Toya and Quad. Because when Toya showed up, Toya and Contessa showed up 2 hours later, 2 hours late. And Anila was like, why you so late to my party? Okay. And Toya was like, well, damn, bitch, could you just say hello first? And I was like, yeah, when you have a friendship or start a so-called friendship on superficial things or whatever, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. But at the end of the day, it was a nice event. Outside of the bullshit, it was a nice event. And that was the end of the episode. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it, and I will see y'all later. Peace.